Hey guys, I've been super ill the last week, and that's why in today's video we're going to be focusing on the topic of what to do with your hair system when you're really ill and in bed. Now it certainly is flu season, at least it is in the northern hemisphere. The weather's getting colder, there's germs flying about everywhere. I've lost count of the number of friends who have got flu, colds, COVID, and I've finally ended up getting it myself, despite taking every supplement under the sun to try and avoid it. So let's get into the details of what I do with my hair system when I'm really ill to make sure that I'm both as comfortable as possible and focusing on my recovery, but also taking care of the system. So one of my first things that I'd recommend thinking about is to decide whether you want to keep your system on or whether you want to take it off whilst you're unwell. Both are genuinely feasible. And at this point, I'm briefly going to tell you that if I'm wearing a lace base, I take it off if I'm really ill and in bed. If I'm wearing an ultra thin skin like I'm wearing now, I just tend to keep it on. Now, why is that? Lace base, they give an incredibly realistic appearance, but if you're lying in bed, you're super stuffed up and you're just feeling horrible, a lace base can actually get quite irritating and it can get a little bit annoying. On the flip side, I find that ultra thin skins, when I'm ill or when I'm not, just much more comfortable to wear. It just bonds a lot more easily and I just don't feel it at all on my head. So I don't really have a problem keeping it on whilst I'm really ill, unless I have got a fever of like more than 100 Fahrenheit and I'm sweating profusely and my head just needs to breathe. That happens very rarely though. So let's just assume that you're comfortable enough wearing it throughout your illness, or you've just got an ultra thin skin like me. I've got some really good tips which I think you're going to find really helpful that will allow you to rest, recover, focus on yourself, but also not have to worry about doing a rebond once you're feeling better. Now, first up, you need to remember that you're going to be in bed a lot more than you usually are, and that means that your hair system hair is going to be rubbing against some sort of surface a lot more than it ordinarily would. Now, this can cause the hair to dry out a little bit if you're not doing the right things, so I always recommend just having a silk pillow. Even if you don't sleep with one normally, maybe just get one for when you're ill. You want to make sure you're getting silk and not satin. Silk is the real deal. This is a really soft material and it really reduces the friction that your hair system hair might have against like a normal pillow. It's really soft, it slides really easily. I pretty much sleep with one all the time anyway, but it's a really good start. 100% mulberry silk is the way to go. You can get those on Amazon. They're about £20, maybe $28, $30. It's a really good investment and they last ages. Now, another thing that I wear throughout the whole time when I'm just ill in bed and I'm just feeling really awful, and that's just literally a nightcap. It sort of protects the hair. It stops it from rubbing against pillows and other ththings. They're also made of silk, so it's a really good investment. I prefer these actually to wearing do-rags at night now. And you're not constantly worrying about how your hair looks when you're feeling really ill. You're just, you've got the bonnet on, so it's, out of sight, out of mind. Another crucial thing which I really want you to do, guys, I really encourage you to do this, is to use leave-in conditioner twice a day. If you can make it up to your bathroom, just with a paddle brush, or even better, like a wide tooth comb, just spray some leave-in conditioner twice a day. I use the Scruffy Hair Co's UV Protective Leave-In Conditioner at the moment. I did a video on this last week. It smells really good as well, but it just ensures that your hair is able to retain as much moisture as possible. Remember what I mentioned earlier, it's encountering a lot more friction when you're in bed all the time, all day, every day. So you want to lock in as much moisture as possible. You can use this, you can use pure argan oil as well. If you've only got enough energy to do one thing a day, I'd really encourage you to just spray the leave-in conditioner in. Which reminds me, I haven't actually done it yet today, so very brief tutorial about how I do it. Just comb it in, making sure, because I've been in bed the last 4 or 5 days, and this is something that I've kept doing throughout the whole 4 or 5 days. It's super important, guys. And lastly, and most importantly, I don't want you to do anything else. When you're feeling really ill, the last thing you want to be thinking about is what you need to do with your hair system. You want to be focusing on just getting as much rest, as much hydration as possible, so you can be fighting fit again in the near future. And that's why, especially with an ultra thin skin, I do really recommend, if you can, just leaving it on, because the last thing you want to be thinking about is having to do a rebond once you start feeling a little bit better and you have to go back into work. This is the last thing that you want to be thinking about. So if you can, if it's feasible, if it's not causing you too much discomfort, try and keep the system on. Obviously, if it's a lace base, it's a little bit different. If you've had it on for like maybe 10 days, yeah, maybe consider taking it off and leaving it off until you feel better. I usually tend to keep it on. Now, before we wrap up, if you're looking for some great deals on hair systems, LaVivid's 15% discount on all stock systems and all accessories. My US viewers, you might certainly be interested in that. It works on these. If you're interested in more natural densities, ultra natural densities, LaVivid have just released their new range. I did a video on that last week as well. It's a range you may well want to consider, and there's loads of systems within that range that you can keep on when you're ill. You can just keep them on whenever. You could be in a theme park, you could be in a swimming pool, you can keep them on as much as you want. Thank you for watching, everyone. Now for my hair system wearers watching this video, do you guys have a routine that you follow when you're really, really ill? This one took me quite a long time to work out and perfect, so I'd love to hear what you guys do in this situation. I hope everyone has a fantastic week, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye for now.